Well, it's about that time, guys. You guys remember the 21-inch wheels, the Infinity FX50 wheels that I had? Well, I posted them on eBay just to see, and fortunately, after a little bit of back and forth, I got a reasonable buyer, a buyer at a reasonable price. So, let me unwrap this. The tricky part, or rather always the tricky part about large wheels like this is how do you ship them without damage, without compromising the wheels. So beautiful wheels they are, right? This protector here is for 20-inch wheels, so it's not going to fit. So this is what happened. See this box over here? When I bought it, I had my FX45 wheels shipped in these boxes. I have 4 of them, and you can see it says Infinity 20x9. Cool. However, the original, it looks like it's whatever, this Rhino type wheel, and they still work. They still were 20x9, as you can see here, right? 20x9, whatever, offset this and that. So, and these are actually truck wheels, right? 6 lug. So it doesn't seem like, yeah, we just couldn't have gone to the FX50. But whoever it is, these guys that sold me the FX45 wheels online, they had these boxes. I'm guessing it's a wheel store. And so now the catch is, how do I ship these? As I had the protectors on the side, it works. The thing is, it's just so tight that you don't really have that much protection for these wheels. Not with, not with this kind of box. So the box that worked well for 20-inch wheels was actually, let's do this. I want to get the interior dimensions of this box. This box is a 22 and a half, almost 22 and a half square, and depth was 10, yeah, give or take. So you also have to remember that 20-inch wheels are not exactly 20 inches in dimension. Likewise, 21-inch wheels are not exactly 21 inches. For example, this one here, let's do this without scratching it. So this one is 22 and 3/4. That's the dimension. And then they're not 9, are they? 9.5. These are 9.5-inch wheels. They're like 10 inches in dimension. So if I ship these wheels like this, yeah, they'll probably get there, but one drop in these things that probably dented or something. And I mean, I'm gonna say I didn't get too much money out of them, but in reality, these wheels are so expensive. It would be prudent to just do all you can to protect them. So at this point, I will probably just set the camera down, and then you'll see me working through the process. What I did was, I bought these boxes from Uhaul. There were about 3, let me see, yeah, 327. I have 4. I bought 4 of those. At the same time, I had one that I use for my oil pan over there. So for a cost of 16, just look at it as, yeah, 16 bucks for 4 of these boxes. These boxes are, can't see the dimension, but they are 24 by 24, 24 by 8 by 18, right? Yeah, they're not 24 squares. Yeah, 24, 18 is the dimension of these boxes. So I am going to do the best. What I said is that I have 22-inch wheels, and with 24, I'll be able to actually have enough padding on the sides. And 18 is actually pretty tall, but what I'll do is I'll just reduce the sides, just fold the top and bottom, and then I'll have maybe 1 inch or 2 of padding on each side. Another thing I'm going to do, yeah, I'm going to use this radiator box and trace out a shape and basically use this as a template for like more protection for the wheel. Whatever you do not damage the wheel surfaces. And then again, I like to reuse and repurpose stuff from prior purchases. I've just had people ship me stuff, and I've had some pretty good packing material like this one here. This will do pretty well for the top and the bottom, right? And then, as I said, I'll be using cardboard as well. as the cushioning, and I should have enough cushioning on all sides to protect the wheels. That's what I'm trying to do here. So anyway, as I said, this is not a typical channel video, or it's not a typical video for my type of channel, but you know, you might run into that situation. How do you ship wheels? So buying boxes, for one, as I said, U-Haul ended up being the cheapest. UPS was going to sell me a pretty large box. I think it was 24, 18 as well, but it was going to cost about 17 bucks. FedEx was going to charge me about 11 bucks for the same box, and I could get it for 4 bucks from these guys. And when you're shipping on eBay, all the supply costs usually eat into your profit margin, so you buy the cheapest you can get, right? Then pack them. One advantage of UPS, I'm going to say, is this: whenever you buy the box from them, they were going to do the shipping service for you. They were going to pack it for you. FedEx would have to charge you an extra for that, so maybe it becomes equal at that point. However, when it comes to shipping costs, I think FedEx was way cheaper for at least what I wanted to do. I told them it's going to be a 24 by 24 by 24 12 box is what I told them it was going to be, and you know, for my zip code, and then 35 pounds is what I estimated the total weight to be. Anyway, so from now, let's just put things away and just tackle this. Hopefully you'll be able to make sense of what I'm doing here. Okay, and I'll save these boxes for another day because I still have a bunch of wheels.
Pardon me if I sound a little nasally. It's that wonderful time of the year, you know. Anyway, the strategizing is over. The heavy lifting of the work starts now. Shuffle the box into the workspace just to remove the wheel, and to move the wheel out of the work area. And I got the larger box that I got from U-Haul. It's a 24. It's 24 by 18 by 24 box, which dimensionally will allow the wheel to fit in there, but only if you lay it by its side can you maybe scoot the wheel in from the end. That's not ideal because for packaging you want to be able to put the wheel in from the top, right? So something drastic needs to happen. And at this point, bring in the wheel, make sure that it fits within the constraints of the box, and mine does, which is great, but it's still kind of tall, right? This thing is 18 and the wheel is like 10, 11 tall. So I'm going to mark 12, well, more accurately 11 3/4, and mark that with a pen. Well, just to give you a guideline, you don't really need to use a pen for what I'm about to do, but you know, in case you're going to use a different kind of cutting tool. For me, I have a metal straight edge that I use in the garage, and then I'm going to use the blunt end of a pair of scissors to gouge the cardboard. And this is to give it serrations. And the purpose of the serration is so that you can fold this thing over like that. Then cut the ends, not all the way through, just until where it naturally bends like that. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to have to repeat this. Let me cut this in slow motion. Cut it in, allowing space for, cut two cuts basically, allowing a little bit of width over there. The purpose is to, when this thing folds over, you need to be able to have space. Okay, it'll come into play a little later. We'll get to that. So measure out the other side and mark it again. And in this case, cut it, allowing slotting it twice. Do the same thing on the other side, and then test your box to make sure it does boxy things, At least looks like a box in shape. And I need some tape now, just to hold the shape of the box. And I wish I had more hands to be able to do this. Get some help, do whatever you need to do. But so get some tape just to hold it in place in this case. And I laid the tape over on one side, went and got it from the other side, went around the perimeter of the box. And this is not a strong holding, adhesion step. It's just to help the box maintain its shape. Then I'm going to put some padding down. That's a little too short for what I intend to do. I need some protection on the sides. But if I bent it like that, see, that works on the edge. So I'm going to do that. Lay it down and use some tape as well to help it just stay in place and not slide out when I set the wheel in there. And do the same for this other edge. And then I'm going to do something for the middle as well. Something a little longer than 24. So it bends over like that. So that's going to work. I'm going to tape that down as well so it doesn't move around. And it works. Test the wheel. It fits in there. There's a little bit of a gap for cushioning. So pad it with packing or pack it with padding. I mean, it works both ways in this case, right? And purpose is in case someone inadvertently drops this box, that things are going to work out pretty well. Once you put the wrap over, I'm going to remember the step that I talked about in the beginning using the radiator box. Instead of that, I chose to get just some other spare box I had, or rather, in addition to that, I chose to do that. You could have cut it in a round shape, but I just chose to make it as a 24 square. Sometimes I usually have like flaps over, and the flaps are to give extra protection, but I suppose in this case I chose not to do that. And so lay down, and it works. Put those lip protectors. This is a top side after all, right? Fold that edge over, everything works. Tape those down so that they don't slide around during shipping. And I'll put some packing, some bubble wrap on top, and fold it over again, make sure everything still closes within the dimensions expected. And so far so good. I guess I got a little enterprising here and decided to try and add more packing, but the box said no, so out that went. Fold the ears over. Remember the ears I've been talking about? That's kind of what I've been working on over here. So, oh, you saw that I creased that? It's actually intentional. Let me change the angle here. The crease, I wanted it to have a little bit of overlap over that edge, the one edge that we had, and I didn't really need to measure it out, but once it creases over, I could just cut it, and cut it all the way through, while checking, of course. The purpose of that that overlap is so that, well, let me put that down first. It is pretty snug. I actually just eyeballed this, but maybe it was about an inch or two off the edge, but it fits in there just snug, which I like, right? The purpose of the overlap is to be able to just tape over it, but I'll talk about that in a minute. For now, let's get weights. 41 pounds, give or take, 19 kilograms. But since we're in the States, we're gonna go with the pounds. And I guess I just wanted to double check. We know it's a 24 by 24 on the bottom, and I went with it's the exterior dimension ended up being 12, so that's what I noted down: 41 pounds, 24, 24, 12. So at this point, I'm ready to take this thing to FedEx. But first, I need to make my shipping label. Yeah, shipping label, and tape over this edge, the overlap I was talking about, and maybe a little bit on the outside. I do have some kind of tape, but I'll go to the FedEx store and get to use their free tape that they offer there. It's wider and more adhesive too. So, I mean, we're pretty much ready to go, right? Okay, well, hope everything goes well. To FedEx we go. Okay, we're not done yet. There are a few things I'd like to talk about here. It's just blurbs, really. So for professional boxes, packers, professional packagers, if you were watching this video for one reason or another and you were cringing because you saw me do something that was non-standard or plain wrong, please let me know, correct me, send me an email, or for the sake of public good, just write it in the comments so that everybody else can learn from our mistakes, right? Let's all share our knowledge. And for non-professionals, I hope this video does help you in one way or another. I do not claim to be an authority in packaging by any means, but I will take one claim to fame. See, well, I'm not really famous for it, but way before the postal service, way before the post office was selling those triangle tubes, I was making them myself because I was selling all these automotive pieces that sometimes needed to be protected in certain ways. But anyway, that's besides the point. What is important is that by the time this video is going to be posted, these wheels already arrived at their destination with no damage whatsoever, right? So now back to the whole other blurb thing. My topics are just going to bounce around. For those who have stumbled upon my YouTube channel for the first time, this is usually an automotive channel. So if you do click at any of my other stuff, you might try to figure out, well, how do I package this and that? Well, sorry, I can't help with all that. Every once in a while, though, I get into a pretty cool project, right? Because of all the stuff that I sell, because of all the automotive stuff, sometimes I have to sell something. I donate stuff sometimes, I sell stuff sometimes, but there's always shipment happening, and I repurpose boxes. And every once in a while, I do something cool, a cool project, either for shipping or just non-automotive related, or sometimes non-related to my core competencies with these cars. I just like dabbling in different things. So every once in a while I've done something, and my friends and family say, man, that would be really cool. I wish I had seen a video of this. I would have been able to do this. So usually I say, well, if I come to a point where I'm thinking, man, it would be nice if someone made a video that showed me this and that, I take it upon myself to be that somebody. So I make a video. So every once in a while, my loyal subscribers will notice that I do post a video that's not exactly automotive and not exactly the cars that I usually post about. I don't really back away from any challenge, time allowing, and hence one of my more famous or most famous videos would be like on the Nissan Altima, which is a car that I did not have. My brother had that before it got totaled. So again, every once in a while, I do something that I figure, let me share with the world. It might turn out okay. It might screw you over. What? Well, that's not my intention, but something beautiful might come out of it. So, at around this point, some videos should be popping up as suggestions because YouTube, Google, the algorithm thinks that these are videos that you will enjoy. Even if you don't enjoy them, I would appreciate if I can get a like, subscribe, just share the video, whatever it is. These are the kind of things that help me in monetary ways and enable me to keep doing what I do here. All right. So for whatever reason that brought you to the video, I hope it worked out for you. I wish you all the best. I wish you a prosperous 2020 and beyond, whatever year it is that you end up watching this video.